friends. I'm going to be doing a 3 flip cups today on these little 6 by 6 inch canvases. I did this last year, but the piece is sold, so I want to create another set of 6. Today I'll do blue, red, and yellow, the primary colors, and tomorrow I will do orange, green, and purple, the secondary colors. So I've added 1 drop of silicone to each of these colors. This is Prussian blue. This is sky blue by Master's Touch. Also sky blue with varying degrees of white in there. So 4 values. I've added 1 drop of silicone to each one, stirred it in well, and I'm going to do a flip cup. I'll put the recipe down below, but it's just glue and Liquitex Pouring Medium and water. I find it makes usually really nice cells, and I haven't done this in a while, so I've just mixed up the blues. If it works out, and I expect it will, then I will mix up the other colors and continue. Got the backs all nicely taped. Got my torch standing by. I'm just going to put 1 glove on. I should be able to manage this little canvas with 1 hand. And then my other hand will be clean to torch. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can watch this a little closer. How's that? Okay, and release. Woohoo! I think I'll run that through just to give some interest to the composition. That was plenty of paint. I probably could have gotten by with a little less than that, but I'm going to torch it now. And look, I'm using my gloved hand. Plenty of cells. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where did that come from? All right, isn't that fun? And here we go. That's kind of an ugly one. I'm going to probably tilt that off. I like the dark. I'd like to maintain some of the dark, so come back. My light blue, excuse me, my light blue was a little thin, and my cells got a little weird. Oh, I'm sorry I lost so much of my dark blue. But that's pretty. This is very different than last year's blue. Last year's was much darker in value. This is more pastel, but it's pretty. I'm happy with the way they came up in there. Bring you in. Okay, I think I made my paints a little thin, maybe. I'm going to mix the reds next, and I'm going to make them a little thicker and see what kind of look I get. So let me pause here, and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, moving on to the red. Now, when you see the yellow, you will see that this is actually a redo. I didn't care for the way the red looked. I think my mix was too thin. So I'm going again with it, and hopefully it's better than what I hosed off. And then in tomorrow's video, green, purple, and orange, which I've already done, I mentioned that I was going to redo the red. Well, that's what I'm doing now. So my colors are Master's Touch Permanent Red. That's this one. I think this one is Master's Touch Crimson. Pretty sure. This is crimson with some Artist Loft black for a nice dark tone. And then, of course, I had to have some white mixed in with, I think I used the permanent red for pink. So I've got 4 different values of red. And let's get to it. Oh, I forgot the silicone. I did that with the yellow as well, or I thought I did. But I know I have not added it to the reds, so 1 drop in each color, and I mix it in really thoroughly. Mix it in really well, scrape the sides, and pour. Alrighty. Got a little heart in there. Isn't that sweet? This is definitely thicker than my last red go, so it should yield better results. The cells were just too wonky in the last one. Okay. I hope I had enough contrast. I was hesitant to use too much of the dark because I didn't want it taking over. I wanted the primary red to be the permanent red rather to be the focal, and oh well. Can't really tell until it's stretched out, right? So here we go. Looking very pink, but acrylics dry darker, so it will appear more red as it dries. And I like it better than my previous attempt, which you will see in the close-up at the end of this video. You'll see what I hosed off. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's a little, as I said, a little on the pink side, but it will dry. It will dry darker, and I think I'm happy with it. So let me bring a closer look at this one. Some great looking cells there. The camera always lightens it up. It's a little darker in real life here. Okay, we'll move on to the yellow next, and on my next video, or not the next one, but the one following that, I'll have them all dried and varnished and in a set. Now you'll be able to see the whole thing. So thank you for watching, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Okay, time for yellow. For yellow, I'm using Yellow Medium Master's Touch, Primary Yellow, Deco Art Premium, and then I mixed a white and added just a little bit of this one for a very, very light value. Those are those three. And then for contrast, I'm using Yellow Ochre as my dark value. It's not, I was tempted to add a little burnt umber to darken it even more. And I wonder if I should. I'm just not convinced I have enough contrast here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to add just a touch of this burnt umber to this yellow ochre. Just a little dribble. And darken that ever so slightly. Oh, I forgot to add the silicone. Did I? Oh, I don't remember if I added the silicone or not. Oh, shoot. I just did this and I can't recall. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll add it to 2 of the colors instead of all 4. Should still be plenty. Do I need to add a little water to that one? Maybe just a touch of water. Just a little bit. And I will add silicone. Oh, shoot. I will add silicone to this one. Now I feel like I did. Now that I'm doing this, I feel like I already did add silicone, but I'll just add 1 drop to each of those 2. And I'll either have a lot of silicone in this cup or not very much. All right, here we go. I scraped up a lot of the blue and red after I poured those 2. I'm not going to run it through this time because I did not necessarily like what those others did. I am going to scrape that out though. There's quite a bit of paint in the cup yet, just to help coverage. And as I said, this afternoon I'll try to do yellow, orange, and purple. And so you'll see a complete set of these chunky little 6x6s. On their own, they're nothing special, but as a set, I think they're pretty cute. Alrighty, where's my torch? Here it is. Glove. Oh, I meant to bring you in closer. Okay. I'm liking the appearance of these. I think I made my yellow a little thicker. My yellow mixes, and the cells do look better. I'm glad I darkened that yellow ochre because even with doing that, there's not a whole lot of contrast in this piece, but there's enough. Okay. Alrighty, so there we have it. Primary colors. And we bring in for a closer look at all of them. Yeah, those are much better looking cells. So keep the mix kind of on the thick side. It's a little thin, and so they got kind of wonky. Yeah. Okay, well, altogether, I think they're a pretty cute set, and when I make those other three, it'll make a complete rainbow set. Okay, my friends, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.